one even cares if you die alone. I don't even care if you die alone. I don't even care if you die alone.
Hey guys, and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be doing 21 slasher movies that you should see or own. This is created by Joe the Horror Man, I believe. Also done by Jason at Horrific Nightmares JM and a few other YouTubers here. So I do like my list videos, so I thought I'd jump on board on this. And I'm a big fan of slashers too. The only thing with this list is I haven't included like your main franchises like Friday, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. Tried to steer away from those and just do kind of either standalone films or stuff that's only part of like a really small franchise. So these aren't in any particular order. I just picked 21 out of my collection. So yeah. First up, we have Maniac. One of the more visceral, kind of grimy slasher films slash probably character study as well, more than anything. Yeah, just the effects in this and the story is really awesome. It's just one of my favorites from the 80s. Next up, we have The Mutilator. Pretty bad movie. I think someone else had this on their list too. But yeah, bad movie, but the kills are awesome. Very inventive kills. I didn't mind the movie, to be honest. Like, I think it was as cheesy as, but yeah, fun ride. Next we have My Bloody Valentine. Not the biggest fan of this compared to some people, but I do appreciate this uncut version for the gore and special effects. Another more modern one, I guess, Hatchet. Really cool. I really like this franchise. I had to go with the original, even though I probably like part 2 a little bit more, but super fun slasher film. Amazing practical kills for a new film as well. So I'm hoping Adam Green does more of these films. We got Lucio Fulci's The New York Ripper. Pretty fun film. I just put on here because it was a little bit different, more like a little giallo slasher with a lot of gore. A nice grimy setting as well. Yeah, the duck killer, which is fun. But yeah, New York Ripper. Next one here is it's a 2-pack, but I'm going with Laid to Rest. The Killer Chrome Skull. I think it's kind of like a little underrated double feature, this one. The kills are brutal. I really like the look of the killer as well with his chrome mask. And he videotapes all his killings from like a GoPro sort of thing attached to his shoulder, which is kind of cool too. So highly recommend that if you haven't seen it. Definitely the most modern one on this list, the Banana Splits movie. I thought I'd chuck this one in because it was modern and it kind of surprised me for a slasher. I didn't expect a hell of a lot from it, but I was pleasantly surprised when the credits started rolling. The themes they used in this with children, which is you don't see a lot of these days for sure. Yeah, I just thought it was really cool having killer animatronics. Next up, we have Pieces. Amazing Spanish horror film, super gory, amazing kills, some fucking super funny humor as well. Yeah, just a fun time. Pieces. Next up here, we have The Prowler. Didn't like this that much the first time I watched it, but upon rewatch, I appreciate it a lot more. Has some of Tom Savini's best work, in my opinion. Some of the kills in this are so good. And I do like the look of the killer, like the army killer. But yeah, The Prowler. Next up we have Blood Rage. That's Not Cranberry Sauce. The Thanksgiving slasher film featuring 2 twins, or one set of twins. And it's like a whodunit, but they kind of give it away pretty early who the killer is, and you just kind of follow it. But yeah, heaps of good comedy and some awesome kills as well. A bit more of a popular one, but Silent Night, Deadly Night. Just absolutely love this Christmas movie. Billy has his parents get killed by like a fake Santa, like a mall Santa Claus. And then he becomes traumatized every year around Christmas. And one Christmas he finally breaks when he has to dress as Santa at his new job and goes on a murder spree. So yeah, super fun. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Next up, we have a more known one, The Burning. Don't really have to say too much about this. Cropsy the Killer. Good camp setting with good characters and awesome effects by Tom Savini. We have Sleepaway Camp. The second one's actually my favorite in the franchise, but I thought I'd show the first one because you definitely got to start with the first one in this franchise to keep it going, I reckon. It's just, yeah, super fun. A twist that everybody knows by now. Yeah, and some pretty funny kills and good comedy. We have, next up, Slaughter High. Rewatched this the other night and absolutely love it. The killer is so much fun. The kills, like there was one of them where that girl gets like electrocuted on the bed. That had me like bursting out laughing. What her friend says afterwards, but yeah, the effects in this are really cool for the time. Like it's super low budget, and I do like the look of the killer. Next up, we have an Australian horror film directed by Chris Sun. Charlie's Farm stars Nathan Jones, Tara Reid, Bill Moseley, and Kane Hodder. Yeah, super fun kind of like creature feature slasher, like a giant, there you go, 7 foot, 170 kilo of pure Aussie killing machine. Yeah, I'd highly recommend this to anyone that likes their Australian slasher films and has not seen this. Yeah, huge recommendation from me. Next up, we have Tobe Hooper's The Funhouse. Probably the best carnival setting in a horror film, in my opinion. Batshit crazy looking killer. And yeah, like how he finally snaps after getting his little $2 hand job off a gypsy or whatever it was. But yeah, fun film. Another recent one, actually, The Strangers Prey at Night. I actually prefer this over the original Strangers. I think it's awesome. The trailer park setting with the family and stuff. Yeah, it just amps it up and it's really good. Next up here we have Intruder. This is super fun. One of my favorite slashers. Set in a supermarket, which is really cool. By the way, that cover gives away the killer, so do not look at that if you haven't seen it. Yeah, super gory kills. Has Bruce Campbell in it. Has Ted and Sam Raimi in it as well. So yeah, super fun Intruder. Next up we have I Know What You Did Last Summer, the original. Just grew up on this film. This and Scream were some of the younger, like the earliest horror that I remember watching. So yeah, don't mind that at all. The hook kill is really cool. And I don't mind the second part, but the third part's pretty bad. Getting there now, we have Terrifier. And again, another modern slasher, but I think this is modern slashers done right. Gruesome kills, not much background story, just straight into it. And yeah, it's just, what would you say? It's just adrenaline from start to finish of this clown, Art the Clown, stalking these two girls and pretty much killing anyone that gets in his way. Finally, another Aussie film. We got Wolf Creek 2. Andrew had this on his list and I completely forgot about it, so I definitely wanted to include it because I prefer it over the original Wolf Creek. It's a completely different tone in film though. This is definitely more of a slasher, where Wolf Creek's more of a cat and mouse, you know, psychotic person sort of movie. But yeah, the kills in this are so fucking brutal. And John Jarratt as Mick Taylor, I reckon, turns his character up to 11 in this film. So I'd highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. And there's my top 21 slasher movies, guys, that you should see or own. Let me know your 21 in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.